Yo, what it do, everybody, man? It's your boy, King Crowder, checking in again with another book review. I wanted to do back-to-back today because I really thought this next one is a tremendous read. This book is called Chasing Daylight by Eugene Kelly. Eugene Kelly is a former CEO, chairman of one of the top big accounting firms in the United States. Very successful individual, CEO. But when he was towards the end of his life, he was diagnosed with a terminal brain tumor. The gentleman was a young age of 53 years old when he was diagnosed with it, and he is documenting the last 100 days of his life. The one thing I would say, man, this book is a very vulnerable read. It's very emotional. It brings up the part about death that is unexpected and also fulfilling. He brings up a lot of points that you never think about having the last conversations with people. So I got my 3 points I want to dive into, y'all. Why I think it's a good read. So let me just dive into it first. The one thing he had to do was come to grips that he was going to die. You never think about it like that. We all know we're going to pass away. We don't know what our time frame is. But this gentleman had to know that, hey, this year I will not see the year 2006. And he had to come to grips with that. And the way he did that was getting the bottom line of things he was grateful for. He removed his bitterness. He removed his unwavering sides. He removed any doubt and literally wrote down what he was grateful for. And the gentleman had great accomplishments. Number one, being the CEO of a Fortune 500 company in America is a tremendous accomplishment. And he breaks down how writing down physically what he was grateful for reversed his mind from negative, I'm going to die thoughts to peaceful side, I will surpass where I am right now. That was a very just crazy way to think about it when you think about it, just because you had to change your mind and reverse it to think positively about death. The next final thing he did was he actually had a list of goodbyes. What he means by that is that he started from birth all the way until what he was right now. He reached out to people he haven't talked to in 50, 40, 30 years. And he talked to them, invited them to lunch, and he told them he was going to die. And he wanted to sit down and break bread to tell each one of these individuals how grateful he was that happened. And, in that moment, I really got emotional and I was moved to think about all the people that have hurt me personally and how sometimes we don't reach out to them and tell them thank you. And we don't tell them we appreciate them for what happened. But this gentleman got to give out his last thank yous. And it was such a rewarding feeling for him that he actually remembered having energy and feeling better upon the days. Now, even though his brain cancer and what happened to him really set in, and he began to stutter and he began to lose, memory and things like that, he really began to get at peace. The last, truly sad things that happened, or two of them, was he began to transition slowly. And during this time, you could see his writing and his fudges begin to change. And during this transition piece, he felt so at peace with what he did. It's kind of crazy to think about how it had harmony and how he didn't look at it negatively. He prepared himself to know that everything he was on this earth, he got to do. And when he did that, it wasn't a bitterness or, oh, I wasn't prepared. It was a, wow, death is here. Death is coming. I'm going to sit back and embrace it. Even some of his nurses and things got to comment on him and say it was no issue whatsoever. Towards the last parts of his days, his wife had to finish his work for him. So not only did she get to talk about her husband passing away and dying, she actually had to give her closing remarks on how great of a man he was. It was very emotional to read that because he passed away around this time, so he didn't even get to see the success of his own book that he wrote. But it was truly informative to see how this gentleman had the foresight thinking to place himself in the best position and handle these unforeseen circumstances. The only criticism I would have to this book is that I know it sounds selfish of me to have criticism of a man that passed away and wrote his death memoir. But what I would say is that I would like to know more details about the conversation he had. because I really felt like that was a powerful section that he kind of went into, but it wasn't in depth. But again, the guy was going through brain cancer. How selfish do I sound by saying that? But that was the only thing I wish I could have known what more he asked and how did he get to that point. Again, the book is called Chasing Daylight. It is a deaf man's memoir from a cancer patient still dying. And I would say, read this when you want to feel grateful. Read stuff like this to reset and reboundary yourself, man. Because life is truly a gift that we are not owed, a gift that we are not promised, and a gift and an honor to have it. You know, I would kind of even recommend it to people that are really depressed, man, because this puts stuff in perspective. Now, it might not spring you out of it, but any seconds when you can have a perspective on life and how it's going, it's worth every penny, man. So definitely want to just chime into that. Great read, y'all. Thank y'all for rocking with me. I appreciate all my loyal people out there. Again, comment, like, subscribe to your boy, King Crowder. I will keep dropping this content. Excuse me. Can't stop, won't stop, baby. We ain't gonna stop, man. It's just a beginning part of our journey, man. I want to thank y'all again for another book review. Peace.